This is a takeover. Wall Street and the ASX now at our fingertips with this right here.
You're watching Eagle Review. Thanks to Stake. Download their app to have the ASX and Wall Street at your fingertips today. An absolute mission of a trip to the Sunshine State over the weekend for the boys. The longest road trip in footy against the Lions. They're going pretty good. Lucky our availability is just peaking off the charts right now. 8 changes from last week. More injuries. A few COVID casualties. The coach can't even dodge it now. So in steps former Tigers legend Matty Knights. A tough ask, but a challenge he and the squad was certainly up for. After Brisbane jump out of the blocks with a couple, it's the Eagles' first chain from a kick-in that sets up their opening goal. First it's Winder, starting in his first game for the club. He finds Petreski-Seaton, moves it quickly, and Ryan has some space out the back. A good finish in slippery conditions, and the boys trying to stay within reach of the home team. But the Lions are the best in the comp at forward half turnovers, and combine that with a hefty inside 50 differential, massive trouble. The Eagles reeling heading into the main break, still just with the solitary goal. Couple more to the Lions to start the third until Liam Ryan said, right, enough of this. He bagged a couple, but that was the closest they got. The Lions ramming 7 home in the last to come away comprehensive 75-point winners. A real spirited effort from the Eagles and a performance they could be more proud of compared to the previous weeks. Outstanding effort from Nida, getting the boys ready to play. Got the call Thursday morning, the day they're about to travel. Here, take some heavy rains over in Queensland. He spoke after the game.
I think we come with a purpose to definitely win the footy game, and to do that we had to be in the game from a contested ball point of view, ground balls, and give ourselves an opportunity to get enough on the inside 50s. We hit 2 of those targets with our contested ball. I think we're +5 on the night. Ground balls were +4 or 5 on the night, but the inside 50 sway, the connection once we got the ball to the outside just wasn't the same level as Brisbane's. And I think their contest-to-contest work was just superior. Yeah, I thought the polish, once the ball got to the outside, was a stark difference between the two teams. And it became a bit tough in the end, but I thought the boys hung tough, they hung in there. Clearly see the group was up for the contest tonight. Under no illusions, when we go back to work on Monday, we've got to get better, and it doesn't feel good to lose by those margins. It blew out late. We just couldn't sustain our method and sustain the contest and the pressure for long enough in that contest-to-contest work.
Despite the midfield numbers looking pretty decent in contested possessions and clearance numbers, again, it was the malnutritioned inside 50 count, coming up well short, 35 the difference. That's always going to make it hard. 8 of the Lions' 11 intercept goals came from their midfield pressure. Matty Knight spoke about his side's inability to hit targets and connect once leaving stoppages. The Eagles finishing at 75%, going from clearances to turnovers. And if it wasn't for JD marking this one with his knees and slotting one through in the fourth, Liam Ryan would have gone down in the Eagles' history books as the last player to kick all of his side's goals. Chris Lewis did it back in 1989. They kicked 1 goal for that day. This his third. The small forward did well with his minimal chances. Hats off to the defensive duo of Bunger and Gov, who never stopped trying all night. The veteran finished with 27 disposals, 5 intercept grabs, and hit about 93% of his targets, while the 4-time All-Australian was back to his intercepting best, making up many of his 21 touches. He's been a commanding figure down back in the tough year that is 2022.
My man!
Another debutant on the season, Jake Florenka, the 24-year-old out of South Freo, had it 38 times in the waffle, so yeah, we'll pick you for sure. Had it 9 times in the opener, including 8 contested possessions. They were both match highs, 19 overall, which isn't bad, seeing as though we spent 65% time on ground. An absolute lad for letting the team film his phone call for Mum's reaction of his debut.
I'll be playing my first AFL game tomorrow.
Could be a great chance to view his talent in the back half of the season should the club want to do some mid-season list shuffling. He was well supported by 249-gamer Jack Redden. He added 29 times, 6 marks and tackles. Tim Kelly also battled hard throughout with 21 himself.
I'm gonna keep my eye on him.
Welcome back, Cal Jamieson. Remember, we first saw him debut against the Roos earlier this year. Baptism by fire. Go and look after Nick Larkey. taught him a bit of a lesson with 6 majors, this time sharing ruck duties with young Harry Edwards. His AFL rucking debut up against 2 pretty large men in Darcy Fort and McInerney. He's got quite a leap on him, the young fella. Give him time to fill out. He certainly did enough at ground level with his 12 touches and 5 tackles. Looking forward to seeing more of him in this role going forward. Thankfully, no major injuries this week, although Connor West was subbed out for Claremont captain Declan Mountford. You may remember him from such games as the Roos earlier this year at Marvel. He would have been rapt to get on the ground instead of flying the 11 hours for a warm-up and solo ground sprints after the game. Looking ahead, we should have some updates on Yo and Shuey heading into round 9's clash against the Demons, with the skipper having some hamstring awareness while Yo still battling his concussion issues from a couple of games back. How uncanny. Brisbane have done it again on the halftime siren, smoking Joe earlier in the year. This time it's Cam Rayner's turn. The halftime line was actually 30 points, so a classic result for the punters out there. Big Tom Barras said farewell to the footy boot, kicking this one out of the back pocket. Charlie Cameron thought he'd get creative, but the umpire was circling like a hawk to pay that one. At least toss it over the fence if you're going to piff it away. More TV time. The big fella swung forward as the game wore on, took this awesome grab inside 50, but surely JK would understand not honouring this hit-up lead. Going back for your second ever career goal. He does have 700 of them. Lions big man Darcy Fort's world record came to an end Saturday night with this blemish on the scorecard, so the streak closes off with 12 straight goals without a behind kick. It's impressive stuff. Time for a look at the live ladder. Nope, that definitely didn't work there. Perhaps the NBA need to adopt some rougher security measures to prevent these court invaders. Rugby seem to have it down pat. Golden rule of soccer goalkeeping. If you're going to put the ball on the deck, make sure no one's stalking you from behind and make you look like a bit of a goose. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Eagle Review. And remember, if you transfer your portfolio over $1,000 to Stake, they'll give you $0 ASX trades for the year. That's literally unbeatable. Visit hellostake.com or download their app today.
This is a takeover. Wall Street and the ASX now at our fingertips with this right here.